So today we'll look into the same data challenge that Jairam has brought up yesterday. So, but instead of Tableau prep, we'll use the Power Query. So I've shared you two files. One is starter workbook, another one is the dataset itself, which is CSV file. Please open the starter workbook. And as you can see, this is the data input table structure, where we are having like bike type, store, order date, quantity, value per bike, ship date, and model number. Okay, and we require to get output table 1 at a level of store and as well as brand. So at these levels, store and brand, we require to see what is the total order value. So total order value is nothing but the combination of quantity times value per bike, and sum of all those records for these combinations, store and brand. And next one is we require to have the average ship days, and third one is we require to find, okay, what is the total quantity sold in these two combinations, store and brand. So we'll just try to create this output table using Power Query. So before directly jumping into Power Query, let's just have a flowchart so that it can be helpful for us while we're creating this output table. So what will be our step 1? Step 1 will be connecting to our input file. Okay, what's going to be our step 2? Step 2 will be just checking whether are we having all the data types correct or not. If not, we'll just convert them. Data types. And step 3 will be we'll just add a custom column to get the brand from model. Okay. Our step 4 will be we just require to find the order value, which is the product of quantity times value per bike. And step 5 will be we'll just find number of days for shipping. And step 6 will be we'll just group by store and brand. And step 7 will be we'll just give that as an output. Is there any doubts in these steps?
Okay, all good from my side.
Okay, so let's just follow these steps and try to get this output using Power Query. So please connect to that as step 1, please connect to that data set. So we'll come here into data tab and you can see the file from text or CSV. Click on that. Just quickly browse for the input file. So this is the one. Click import. Great. So we'll click on transform data. Okay, here it is. Is everyone till here?
Yes, Akhil, please proceed.
Great. So our step 2 would be checking the data types and converting if necessary. Okay. So bike type, text field, correct. Store, text field. Okay. Order date, it should be date field, right? So I'll just change this to date and replace current step. You can see there are some errors. Okay. So let's see why those errors are. So I go into here. Okay, it's having 15, then 5, then 2020. It's basically in Indian format. This is days, this is months, and this is year. But by default, it's going to be in American format. So it is expecting 15 to be a month, so which is wrong. So we require to change the date type. Instead of directly changing here, we require to add a custom column. Then we'll give the culture as India. I'll just come back here. I'll just revert this back. Okay. All right. So let's create a custom column. So what formula can we use here? Just name this as order date. So what are we trying to get? We are trying to convert this text into date field. So we'll use date dot from text, and we'll pass in order date, and cultures we require to pass Indian culture. So let's just see culture code for India. Okay, here we can see the culture codes. So these are the languages. So okay, let's just pick one Indian language. Okay, let's just pick this Hindi language, which culture code is HI. So I'll just pass HI and I click OK. All right, now you see 15/5/2020 converted into 5th month 15th day 2020, and so on. So now we are having a month on the first, and then followed by date, and then a year. So now we can easily convert this into date. So now it converted into date field. Any doubts in here?
Okay.
Okay, please proceed with the shipping date as well, because that too got as an same issue. So if you convert it, we are basically having some errors. So please proceed with the same approach like we do for order date. Just open this one for your reference. So let me know once you completed with this.
Not done.
Okay, great. So let me just create them real quick. Just create custom column. Just say ship date. So date dot from text. I'll pass in the ship date, and I'll just say Hindi HI. I'll click OK. And let me just convert this into date field. Let me also convert this into a date field. Okay, great. So let's just see others. So great. So now we don't require this because we created that over there. So we'll remove this column. We'll remove this column as well. Okay, quantity, it can be whole numbers. Value per bike, it can be in currency. Okay. So bike type, text field, store text field, quantity numbers, value per bike currency, model text field, order date, ship date in date fields. Okay, so we are done with our step 2. Now step 3 would be adding a custom column to get the brand name from model. Okay, if you see this model, so we're basically having a brand name inside it with some numbers in it. So we just require to get the alphabets out of it. So if you see this is SPEC is one of the brand name, and GIA is one of the brand name. So we just require to extract alphabets from this model and name that as brand name. So what function can we use here?
Left function.
No, if you use left function, so what happened here for GIA, it's let's say left 3, okay, so it's going to get us GIA. But if you see this one spec EC, it's having left 3 as numerics 0, 1, 2. So we require to use some other function over here. Any thoughts, any suggestions? So what is our agenda here? We just require to extract the alphabets from this model column and name that as brand.
Find alphabet and extract.
Maybe text from or some function sort of.
Yes, we require to use text function, but yes, instead of find, we do have this function saying text.select, and you can just select whatever the whatever it is, like characters that you would like to select. So in this case, we can use that text.select function, and we can pass in all the alphabets as a selecting character. So you just select only alphabets from this model column. So is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So
one more doubt actually, like in order date, instead of having only dates, if assume a case in some rows we have date along the time like 12 a.m. Is it possible to convert them to a date field?
Yes, we can. Instead of directly date, we use date time field, date time functions, and we use date time functions. Dot from text, and we'll convert that into date time first. Then we'll just make that into date field.
Okay, understood.
Okay, so let's just go ahead and try to get the brand from model. So I'll go into add column, add a custom column. I'll name this as brand, and we do have a text function for it, text.select. So I'll open that. So the model going to be my input field, and what do I want to select? I want to select all the alphabets. So I'll use double quotes A, 2 dots till Z. So now it's going to select all the alphabets in this model column and just going to return them itself. So I'll click OK. Now you can see we are having J, Bram, Kona, Spec and all. So we're not getting punctuations, we're not getting numerics, we're just getting the alphabets. That's going to be our brand name. So formula goes something like this. We use text.select, which use it to select only the particular characters that we pass in. So we are passing in all the alphabets. So using the notation curly brackets from A double dot till Z. So that means we are passing from A to Z, all the alphabets from A to Z. Please use this formula to get the brand value. Sorry, brand name. Do let me know once you're done with it here.
Done again.
Okay. Wait, so we do have a brand, so I think we can now remove our model, which we don't require. I'll just remove that. Great. So next step would be getting order value, and the following step is finding the number of shipping days. So let's just quickly do that. Add column, custom column, order value. It's just a product of quantity times value per bike. I'll quickly click OK and make this as currency. Now we got order value. Let's just create number of shipping days. Days per shipping, and which is ship date minus order date. I'll click OK, and we'll just change this to a whole number. So now it's just taking 17 days for this order, 8 days for the second order, and so on. Okay, now we got all our fields. We just require to group them by store and brand, and get the total order value, average shipping days, and total quantity sold. So please go ahead and complete these two fields, and then we'll look into a group file. Please let me know once you have these fields ready.
Yeah, done.
Okay, so now we'll just go into transform, and you can see the group by. So first, on which fields we'd like to group them by. First is our brand, and I'll use control, and I believe second one would be store. Yes, brand and store. So I've just selected those two fields, brand and store. I'll click on group by. Okay, so now we've been into a group by interface. Okay, so you can see our aggregation is on brand and store on this level. So okay, what are the columns that you would like to aggregate using these two levels? So first one would be getting total order value. So this is going to make my new column name, and what we want to do, I want to do a sum operation on order value. Okay, now I've got my first column. I'll get my second column, which is average ship days. So I would like to use average operator over here on number of days for shipping. Now I've got the average shipping days column as well. And third one would be getting the total quantity. So I would be using sum, and I'll use quantity. Okay, now we got all our three required columns, which are total order value, average shipping days, as well as total quantity for this at a level of store and brand. I'll click OK. Expand them. So now you can see, so we are having those two categorical columns over here and aggregated columns over here. So let's just change this order value to currency, and the next step would be we can just load them to our worksheet. So I'll just come into home, I'll click close and load to. I'll click a new worksheet, okay, as a table. All right, so there you go. Now we got our table over here. This is our table 1, output table 1. Please go ahead and complete this, and do let me know once you're done with that. Click on edit so you can see the steps over there. I'll open this group by calculation for your information. Yeah.
Basically, I'm done.
Okay. Just close. Okay, great. So okay, so in the interest of time, I'll just show you an alternative way. Instead of like going all the steps, this are all the same steps for output table 2. We can just duplicate this existing query and just modify some of the steps to get the output table 2. So the wordless up to what is the difference? The only difference over here is, yes.
After doing the grouping, we won't have access to the more granular level table which we made up.
No, we don't.
We don't. Okay.
Yeah. So for output table 2, all these cleaning steps would be same till here. So the only difference is over here is like instead of grouping them by brand and store, we just group them by a brand and bike type. And we just, instead of getting average ship days, we're going to have the average order value along with total order value. So these are the two changes. So those two changes will be happening at group by itself. So we can just duplicate this existing query. I'll right click on it. I'll duplicate that. So I'll have just duplicated that. I'll go, the only changes happening at group by step. So I'll just click on this, setting our icon in the group by, and instead of store, I think it's bike type. Yes, I've just changed that. And instead of average shipping days, it's average order value, and we require to pass in order value. Okay, now we are getting our average order value in order value field, and rest two columns is same for output table 2 as well. I click OK. I'll come here. Okay, everything looks good. This is average order value. I'll just change this to currency. Okay. I'll click close and load to as a new table itself. Great. So this is our output table 2.